Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring you all something that I was studying, looking at today, and what we're going to focus on is trend lines and trend line breaks. And this is going to be important in this space, guys. This truly could make or break your trading or your trading career, is paying attention to these trend lines, and that's what we're going to dig into here. So this is basically like a tutorial, but also I'm going to talk to you about the space and trading a little bit as we go through this, guys. So if you like these little trading tutorials and you like to learn this type of stuff, like, subscribe, let me know down low on these tutorials. We're trying for 100 likes. You guys got it on the last one. Whenever you do that, I'll put out another one for you, and we'll try to touch on this topic here, guys, of trend lines, because like I said, I want to try to help as many people as I can in this space. And guys, to me, trend line breaks are one of the most important things that I pay attention to, at least, and for me and my trading, it has greatly helped me in that aspect. So I want to bring this to you all as well. Alright guys, so first of all, what we're going to be looking at here, this is Bitcoin Cash on the 4 hour. So basically what we're doing, we're just looking at Bitcoin Cash for these trend line breaks. We maybe get into a little technical analysis on it, but not much. But what you're seeing here as we continuously move up, so here was our swing low, and what happened was, guys, if we back out of here, we had this beautiful move up. You can see it was on heavy volume, and then we had this retracement period. All right, so volume started to die down. Always remember that when you have those huge spikes, then you're going to get that retracement time. So always be aware of that, guys, and also pay attention to how long these spikes take place. Do they take place for 4 days, 5 days, 3 days, and write that stuff down so you can keep a track of that, so you'll know if you're in that position. Most likely a correction of 50% or more is going to be coming, and that's something that can really help you along the way. But what you see here is our low. And as we continuously moved up this trend line, guys, we had several touches. So we probably had 7 or 8 touches in here. We had 4 or 5 touches in here. It was really tight price action. But what also made this a very strong, powerful trend line, and when we broke down through it, we had a big loss, was this big gap in between. Whenever you have a big gap like that and then you come back, then you work up it again, that's a pretty strong trend line, guys. All right, so we were working that for quite a while, and then all of a sudden we broke down through it. And what I want to point out here is we broke down through it on heavy volume, so you knew that was a true break to the downside there. And what happened was we actually came down, then we went back up again like we do a lot of times, back tested that trend line, and then we started to fall even farther very fast. And guys, I want to point this out as well while you're looking at this. Do you see this right here? That's called a horn top, and a horn top's basically a week apart, but 2 identical highs. They're almost like the tweezer tops, but they're spaced out more, and that's where you get the horn top from. So that was also another indicator that most likely we were going to start moving to the downside there. But we broke down through here, and just to show you guys, I know a lot of people would just look at charts and go, oh, that's not that big of a break. Take a look at this. Look at the percentage of this from where we broke out all the way to the bottom. You're looking at 42% loss. That's the type of stuff that you need to save yourself from, and that's where trend lines can come into play. And that's why I'm bringing them to you guys. And you know, these can happen on the short term, the intermediate term, or the longer term. And obviously the longer the trend line, when you get that break, it's like a diving board, it's going to be more aggressive. So this break to the downside here is more aggressive than the one that we're looking at now. So this is the present data here, basically, guys, the newest trend line break that we had. So let's take a look at this. As we continuously worked up this trend line, you can see here's a touch here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So definitely this was an established trend line. And you can also put your trend line angle tool on here and see how steep that trend line is. But you see when we broke down out of it right here, it wasn't on the biggest amount of volume. So to me, that was telling me it wouldn't be the most massive break to the downside, just like the other one, how it was a very large one because it came on more volume. Okay, now that doesn't mean it can't be aggressive, because naturally the market wants to fall under its own weight. It needs that volume to push it up and those buyers to push it up, but it can naturally fall by itself. But when you see increased volume with it, that's how you know it's even more aggressive. But right here, take a look at this loss, guys. If you would have sold once we broke down through here on that long day candle, let me grab our price range tool. Okay, from the initial break all the way down, you're looking at about 11%. So that's a beautiful play right there, guys. And now what we're going to see is if we find some support down in this area. You can see we're almost kind of tweezer bottoming here. But remember, you'd want that on the 1-day chart to have those tweezer bottoms, which can be significant. And also sometimes, guys, when you're having one of these dumps, just to point this out to you, so take a look at the dump. When it's basically completely all the way shaken out and it's dumped all the weak hands out, do you see this? you have a climax of volume a lot of times. Just like when you're going up, sometimes you'll have that climax of volume as well, and that can kind of tell you maybe the trend has ran its course. So these are all the things that I'm looking for, guys. I want to save myself 11%. I want to save myself 42%. To me, that's a big deal. And as traders, they're going to see that. When you see a trend line broken, a lot of the times realize it could be either going to that upside or that downside, but you do have to watch for false breakouts. You have to look for the pullbacks or the throwbacks onto the trend lines, which are very important. And that's the type of stuff you really want to look at, guys, and you want to put this in your arsenal. So I love using trend lines. I love using moving averages, Fibonacci. Let's see here. Obviously, the candlesticks, volume, RSI, stochastic, some type of Bollinger Band, maybe a little MACD. And that's basically what I want to stick to and really look at price action itself and try to catch these trends first in the minor. And then you want to get them into the intermediate term and then the longer term. And if you're able to catch one of these guys, I mean, even look at this here, just to show you how we came down, push back up, we set a higher low. Say you got in right here at confirmation up above this 50 moving average right there. I mean, that's one heck of a ride, guys, from $290 all the way up to close. We won't say you nailed the exact top. We'll say down in here to $473 you take your profit, or even at the trend line break there at $430. Those are the type of profits you're looking for, and those are the type of profits that can be made in this market because it's so volatile. This truly is a trader's market. You know, if you're in a bull market, then it is a hodler's market. That's great. Like I said, depends on where you got in. But if you're in a bear market or you're downtrending or you're in intermediate term correction, you know, guys, a lot of times you might want to save yourself 42% and then potentially even buy the coin that you're interested in cheaper. You know, so that's what I'm trying to teach people on this channel, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you being here with me today. I didn't want to make this too long, but I wanted to make it informative, and I just wanted you to really look at trend lines and pay attention to those breaks. Look at the candles when you break down through them, if they're on volume, you know, even upside breaks, if they're going to be on volume or not, and really watch for those fake outs. But this is the stuff that I like to look at, guys. Let me know if you like it down low. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you all.